Good morning, leaders. Good morning, everyone. We're going to have a virtual tour today and about to begin it. So, get back your seatbelts and watch closely these historical places we're going to using this virtual tour. So, I'm glad to be with you guys today. And 3, 2, 1. If you want to understand the past beyond the country's history books, make sure includes these famous landmarks in the Philippines. It merely takes you back in time. The Philippines has long been considered a top tourist destination by people all over the world. Not only does it have a plenty beautiful beaches and scenic spots for people to enjoy, it also has rich culture and history that everyone will find interesting, like this one. The Rizal Monument is a memorial in Rizal Park in Manila, which we know Luneta Park. Philippines built to commemorate the executed Filipino nationalist Jose Rizal. The monument consists of a standing bronze sculpture of Rizal with an obelisk set on a stone base within which his remains are interred, holding his two famous novels, which is El Filibusterismo and No Limitare. And this one is the actual site where Jose Rizal was shot. And this place is where the Gomburza happened. Gomburza, alternatively stylized as Gomburza or Gomburza, refers to three Filipino Catholic priests, Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, who were executed also by Garrote in 17 February 1872 in Bagumbayan, Philippines by Spanish colonial authorities on charge of subversion arising from the 1872 Cavite Mutiny. On December 30, 1896, Dr. Jose Rizal was shot to death off Bagumbayan. Present day, this picture. Luneta or Rizal Park, that was the place where Rizal was shot. Manila, by firing squad of native soldiers. They shot Rizal, the back. And the next one is Aguinaldo Shrine, which is located in Kawit, Cavite. The Aguinaldo Shrine was the home of the first youngest president of the Republic of the Philippines, Emilio Aguinaldo, a historical place where the first Philippine flag was waved that symbolized the country's independence in 1898. The balcony of the Aguinaldo Shrine, the Philippine flag was inspired in other country, Cuba. The revolution, we borrowed to them. The next is the Cry of Pugad Lawin. This was the beginning of the Philippine Revolution against the Spanish Empire. And this scenario, the term cry referred to the first clash between the Katopeneros and the civil guards. The cry could also refer to the tearing of community tax certification in defiance of their allegiance to Spain. Next is Bharaswen Church. It's a Roman Catholic church built in 1888 in Malolos, Bulacan, having earned the title as the cradle of democracy in the East. The most important religious building in the Philippines. In the site of the first Philippine Republic, the church is proverbial for its historical importance among Filipinos. The church has also three major events in the history happened in this church. The convening of the First Philippines Congress, September 15, 1898. Next is the drafting of the Malolos Constitution, September 29, 1898 to January 21, 1899. And the next is the inauguration of the First Philippine Republic of the Philippines, January 1899. Bharaswen Church, by Presidential Decree number 260, Bharaswen Church was proclaimed as a national shrine by President Ferdinand Marcos on August 1, 1973. And we have this one. Next is the Shrine of Mary, Queen of Peace, Our Lady of EDSA, or more popularly, the EDSA Shrine, is a small church of Roman Catholic. Archdiocese of Manila, located at the intersection of Ortigas Avenue and Epifanio de los Santos Avenue, or EDSA, in Barangay Ugong Norte, Quezon City. It was erected atop Mount Samat to memorialize the gallantry and epitomize the heroic stand of the Filipino and American forces who fought relentlessly from January to April 1942 and the Bataan Peninsula. The 73,665 hectare park itself is a part of the bloody battlefield where Philippines' most intense fight against the Japanese imperial forces took place. Almost half of the combined Filipino and American forces lost their lives in battle. So many lives were lost. So many soldiers were lost in that battlefield. And we have this next one is Corridor. It's a small rocky island located at the entrance of Manila Bay. It was once the headquarters of Allied Filipino and American forces who fought against Japanese during World War II and witness to the bravest of these soldiers. While the Japanese had occupied lots of places in the Philippines, they avoided Corregidor because of the fear of the huge canyons surrounding the places. So the Corregidor was surrounded so many canyons. That's why the Japanese avoiding every place that they might be cause an attack. The fall of Bataan on April 9, 1942 ended all organized opposition by the U.S. Army Forces far east to invading Japanese forces on Luzon in the northern Philippines. So we have this next one is Magellan's Cross. Magellan's Cross is a cross planted by explorers of the Spanish expedition of the first circumnavigation of world, led by Ferdinand Magellan, upon arriving in Cebu in the Philippines on April 21, 1821. This cross is housed in a chapel next to the Basilica del Santo Niño on Magallanes Street, just in front of Cebu City Center. This cross sign below the cross states that the original cross is encased inside the wooden cross made of Tindalu wood. This is to protect the original cross from the people who chip away parts of the cross for souvenir purposes, in the belief that the cross possesses in miraculation power. So they believe that the cross have this miraculous power. So many people try to chip that wood. Next is Intramuros, where this place is popular, no, the today's era. This is where Dr. Rizal was imprisoned before his execution. It also where some soldiers were held. It was the place where Dr. Rizal was held in prison. Before his execution, hundreds of lives were lost in this Philippine landmark during Spanish colonial period and World War II. Today, Fort Santiago is one of the major tourist spots for historical places in Manila and in the Philippines. And this one is Lost Footprints of Jose Rizal. The next one is Dapita. It is historically significant as the place where Jose Rizal was exiled by the Spanish colonial authorities for his threat to start revolutionary activities. It is the oldest and the historic core of Manila and built with defensive walls against foreign invasions, hence being called the walled city. Here you can see the preserved Spanish colonial structures from government offices to residential areas and souvenir shops. So, guys, thank you for giving some time to watch. So I enjoy these historical places we discuss today, and I'm very proud being a Filipino, no? So if you are a Filipino, you should be proud because the history of the Philippines is not so easy to fight those many countries we fight, many invaders come, but still we have this Philippines we called. So thank you everyone, leaders. Thank you so much. God bless.